Welcome to the More MOBA Weekly Recap, Week 6, Episode 6.
I'm
Leviathan.
I'm Corpusant.
We're going to talk about all the different MOBAs. This week, a little bit of news.
A little bit of news here and there.
Huge amount.
Some cool tournaments, community tournaments happening.
You got there.
Yeah, got there.
Yeah. Paragon, we had movement speed for minions got updated, which is a big deal, I think, in the long term of the game. A lot of people playing said that it was just taking too long to finish.
That map seems really big. I don't know if it's bigger than other. I remember that you did a article about how long it took to earn a free hero in a game.
Yeah.
That was a cool article. I want to do one where we time how long it takes to get from base into the middle of lanes.
Oh, that's a good
per game, because I just feel like it's so long.
We need to write that down.
I think that's interesting.
That's a good one. Because I feel like that map would be the biggest.
Mm-hmm. Because I feel like League of Legends is fairly slow in that thing. Because they give you a movement speed in the first base, but you don't get it walking into lane. Mm. So, whereas in HOTS, you can just mount up. And in Dota, I guess Town Portal scrolls cheating, but still, you can get here and there.
There's lots of teleporting.
But yeah, that map seems so big.
Yeah, and I think this will, obviously, time will tell, but movement speed to minions, the way they said it is now, if you are pushing your minions forward, you're going to get to a tower faster, which all those teams right now that are doing their death balls of 5 people rolling forward, killing as many people as possible, well, now their towers are going to go away. Hopefully faster.
Good.
That's cool.
That's why I was like Gadget too, because Gadget's one of the heroes that could put a warp gate out and it speeds up all your minions. I guess she's even better now, possibly.
Probably.
Or worse, but
we'll see.
We'll find out. But congratulations to the community this week. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't know, Paragon puts out these little quests when they come up with a new character. To see if the community can reach the maximum level for that character within the matter of a week, not even?
I think it's a week.
Oh, it's a week. Yeah, if you can reach max level with a character within a week, which is actually a lot of work. It's not as easy as you think it would be. But for the first time in 4 or 5 characters, we were able to do it.
It's been a few. We don't have the exact numbers, but it's been a few. Narbosh didn't get it.
No.
Faye didn't get it.
I don't believe Greystone got it.
It was if it wasn't talked about.
Right. So the first time in a long time, and apparently a lot of people are having a lot of fun playing her.
Cool.
Super cool caster.
Mana break.
I think I was reading some of the Reddit comments. People were like, "Stop playing her as a support. She has no CC." But I guess it's because we've made so many supports recently in Paragon. Everyone's like, "Oh, she must be a support too." But no, people have been solo laning with her and having a blast.
Yeah, she seems good. Mm-hmm. Good addition. Solid across the board. I don't want to say long term, oh, she's going to be the best hero or anything like that. But I think just with Dota heroes, it's there is no one hero that you're oh, this broke the game. I think she's another one that's just no, she was a great addition.
Yeah, I think people have fun playing her, and I think that's a success for a lot of developers. Her kit works, and she's a lot of fun to play. Which
is something to say, especially from Heroes of the Storm, where we did have a new hero this week.
Yes, we did.
And every time a new hero comes out in Heroes of the Storm, it's they broke the game because blank, or they are terrible because they didn't break the game. What's his name? The guy that can go into bushes and drag people around.
Oh, Dahaka
was he's lambasted across the board of just being this terrible character because he doesn't have any impact, and at the same time
he gets a little bit more play now.
He gets a little bit.
The only reason too is because he can split farm, which is not something that a lot 2 characters can do in Heroes of the Storm. So he can be in one spot and then teleport to another part of the map, which is false
stat. If you count Lost Vikings as.
Oh, I guess yeah. Well, I'm talking about complete, zone wide. I'm gonna be here, then here.
Yeah, it's. And kind of switching topics then to Heroes of the Storm.
Sure.
Heroes of the Storm.
Alarak, yeah.
I have not even touched him yet.
I haven't touched him either, which is a surprise. I am so sorry, guys. If you rely on me for your Heroes of the Storm news, some other games are getting in the way. I'm sorry.
World of Warcraft, man.
I know it's horrible. But he's not my forte anyways. I don't really like these melee brawler type characters. But if that is your wheelhouse, he seems like he's a lot of fun. He does have a counter strike attack,
Mm-hmm.
so you can. I don't believe it even. It does. The tooltip doesn't say it blocks an attack, but whenever you get hit, you just do a giant frontal like wave attack back at the enemy team.
Yeah.
For a nice chunk of damage.
Which, having played Amaterasu, seems like a similar thing to her.
It's a 30-second cooldown, so it's really, really short for a heroic ability that does tons of damage. Very punishing. Yeah, that's Alarak.
MVP system came out.
Okay, yep.
Which is just like with MVP on Overwatch at the end of a game. Or not, MVP in Overwatch is a little bit different. It gives 4 characters that are just, hey, you guys
Oh, yeah,
did
that's
this.
just 4 random people.
MVP in Overwatch, or Here's the Storm, is this character player was the MVP, which somebody already has broken the code and determined how it's found out. And they're like, this is what counts for this amount. So, it's pretty neat. Bloodlust,
yeah. So, Solid Jake GG started a community tournament. Started over the weekend. Yeah. It's really cool. He's been a part of the game since the beginning. You know, Jake and Kubi were casting a bunch of things together. But it's really cool that he kind of crowdfunded a tournament. They have actual sponsors too, but they really opened up. Dunk Train, he was playing on Cloud Tempo Storm? Cloud9 Tempo Storm, I forget which one.
Cloud Tempo Black.
But no, Dunk Train is casting as well. Zoya is there. Really cool stuff.
Dunk Train was Tempo Storm.
Okay, I forgot which one of the two it was. That's why I couldn't remember, but yeah. Really cool stuff. I started tuning in. I texted you. It's like, it's happening. Watch it. That was Saturday. You probably at work.
Oh, yeah, I was at work.
It's like, just watch it. But it's really cool because I haven't really tuned into the Heroes of the Storm scene. It's really cool to see characters that we haven't seen playing when we started playing a lot actually see play again. So, like, Crowan's Vala is amazing to watch. Like, Vala is, like, pickable now.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
She seems, her rework, has that gone into effect now? I don't know. Either way, it's crazy
I
to see.
I believe so, yeah.
It's neat to see these different characters getting played. And it's also really awesome to see a tournament not sponsored by, Blizzard doing well.
Yeah.
And it really does prove the point that this can happen outside of a controlled, Blizzard came in, they sponsored these guys, here's the tournament.
I mean, granted, I'll be devil's advocate, these guys have been doing it for years and do casting for Blizzard-sponsored events.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like Beyond the Summit. Mm-hmm. They are their own.
Yeah, no, really, really good comparison. Yeah,
it exists as a tournament, and they exist as a organization,
and they're a highly regarded Dota organization. I think putting Solid Jake up next to them is an apt comparison.
I think it sets the precedence that is a thing that can happen for Heroes of the Storm. The only negative thing I've heard so far was the team denial. Which they lost very badly in an early game. They lost again, and then they just quit. They forfeited the rest of their matches, said we're out, which is just...
I mean, it can happen in any tournament, although it's a little BM. It's a little bad-mannered to do so.
Yeah, I feel like even if you do poorly, you should still finish your games,
Yeah, right. A lot of people... It's for your fans, too, really. Regardless, forget about like the people who are hosting the tournament and everything like that. It's really for your fans. They're there to watch you play. Even if you fail, they still want to, watch you play.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of watching people play, Smite.
Yeah.
It's getting bigger.
It is.
More teams are getting picked up. More sponsors are coming in. The game is actually starting. I've had more than
the Shaq effect.
The Shaq effect. ESPN's covering it, and then after they started covering it, another European team got bought out. Panthera got bought out a while back, but it's just like this cascade of people are starting to pay attention to it because beyond just... it's another one of these games. It does have an easier way we don't necessarily like it because it's that third person or the
third person over the shoulder, the MMO view, which is going to be a nice segue in a bit, but
Smite's gotten pretty cool stuff going on.
I can say, like, the two things for Smite that always attracted me to the game is, one, the community. Like, Hi-Rez does so much work within the community to even, like, they do, like, the Smite shows with, like, Andy and Dan and things like that, where they highlight, like, artists in the community, people who make videos in the community. They do so much work. It's awesome. No, they do so much work for those people to really notify and recognize those people.
Yeah. All the artwork, the cosplays from.
Exactly.
There's so much they do.
And the other thing is their character design isn't bad. It's so sound. Like, Fafnir still is the first character I know in any MOBA that actively does something with held gold. I still haven't seen that anywhere else. And they have my favorite character in any MOBA, and I've played all of these games a lot, and that's Nox. Like, they still hold the title of my favorite character in any MOBA.
Yeah. Every character that comes out, I mean... we've said it before, they're very well balanced. The game modes are good. Their new game, Paladins, came out on beta for Steam, and I was actually reading through Reddit, and the comments, people were like, it looks like Overwatch, it looks like Team Fortress.
Overwatch, yeah.
But they were like, the top comments were all about, well, it's high res, and if they've done such a great job with Smite, I anticipate they'll do a good job with this. Which, that was really cool. It made me go, I should play some Paladin.
Copying things isn't bad, and I think I laugh at the irony of the comment where, well, it's Overwatch. The company that mastered copying things and doing it well is Blizzard. Like,
World of Warcraft is just Warhammer without the license,
right? And then you think about, or you mean StarCraft, right? I'm thinking.
No, World of Warcraft was originally supposed to be a Warhammer game, but they never got the license, so they just made their own.
You're thinking, like, when you're like, oh, this is Overwatch. Well, Overwatch is Team Fortress 2. Like, we forget about that so much. It's like...
Yeah, and biggest draw, free to play.
It is free to play.
Can't go wrong with that. But Xing
Chen.
I can't pronounce it. So, his Mountain came out. It's an amazing game mode.
That's really cool.
I also bought the Foxy Amaterasu skin.
I don't judge you. It's really cool.
Well, Lucy was like, it's so cool. I was like, all right, yeah, we'll do that.
If I have an 8-year-old daughter that wants things, sure.
Which I started.
As soon as you like the character.
Oh, she's amazing. She's really cool. And she works really well in this mode, which is a PvE. You do wave after wave, see how long you can last. Each wave is a different mechanic. There's
15 different stages to it, and they're completely randomized. And as you go up, they get more difficult.
Yeah.
So you could RNG a really bad run, possibly. Because I remember when we got to the 5th one of the ones we did together, and it was Loki, which is notoriously one of the hardest ones.
That was rough.
Where he just one-shot, he like summons a million clones, and then like instantly one-shot someone, so they have to use some sort of defensive cooldown, or you have to immediately stun him out of stealth.
It's so tough. Or know where he's moving. It's just, that was a rough one.
But it's really cool. I just said the MMO view of Smite, but it's that over the shoulder. It looks like, World of Warcraft, or I'm trying to like Final Fantasy. These are games where it is an MMO, and they totally took it and said, hey, you know what? Let's make it an MMO. Because you look at it and you're like, okay, someone has to be the tank, someone might have to be the healer, someone should cleanse stuns and things like that. Yeah. You have to, compile a team. It's like, you're DPS. Go.
It's an amazing game mode, and especially like when you think boss fights, like Dota's done it before. I think League has the Poro thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great way to bring players together as a fun game mode, but still a challenge.
It's so competitive. There's a leaderboard for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to like really, if you want to math it out, you're like, oh, this character does more damage than this with this much items, because you have a fixed amount of levels and a fixed amount of gold. So someone like, you're like, oh, Scylla's amazing. I was thinking, because, when you kill someone, things reset.
Yep.
Scylla's passive is more powerful the more skills you max up. You can't max out all her skills, or you're stuck at like 13 levels. So there's really interesting things that you have to kind of think about.
Yeah, I found buying items is a huge, like, oh no, I don't want that, because then that'll leave, like, how can I maximize my efficiency for gold? So
yeah, and like I realize that I don't think buying boots is a good idea when you're confined to this tiny ring.
No,
you don't really have to move.
Cooldown reduction, not worth it.
I think dollar for dollar you can get it somewhere else, because I think it's itemized a lot for movement speed, and you don't need movement speed.
Yeah. Last thing.
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest. Wrote the article about it today.
He'll be out soon.
Roster lock. Evil Geniuses.
Evil Geniuses.
they live on. Everybody had to have their teams ready today. The finalized, so Dota 2 Pro scene, if you've never tuned in before, has certain times of year where they have to add or drop players. First time this year was, instead of doing it all at once, everybody had to drop or leave their team. Then that closed, and then you could add players to a team. So in the past, what would happen is teams that were being like, all right, we know we don't want this person anymore, but we don't want anybody else to have them. They would do everything at the last minute. So that happened with Team Secret, where they dropped a player close. Resolution was the one that they dropped, and Misery, and it was so close to the deadline. They only had the choice to go to Digital Chaos, which
I mean, they got second in TI, so
it ended up going well for them. But now you drop your players and then add all players a week later, which that finally just concluded, which also means we saw Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, Evil Geniuses. They're alive. Everyone thought EG was dead.
Even myself.
Fear dropped out. Sumail dropped out. Everyone's like, what's happening? PPD and Universe left after, mysteriously disappeared at PAX West.
And they were just trolling.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, PPD and Fear weren't.
Yeah.
Fear retired, pour one out for the old man.
I mean, I'm just sitting on a few $1 million. No problem. No problem is what I think Fear's looking at it. Yeah.
He won his tournament. His arm injury, he says, is bothering him still. So, hey, you go out on top. You go out as one of the best players to ever play.
I remember his last tweet after TI was, at least so everyone was like, is it cryptic reading into it? It was at least I went out with a rapier in my inventory. So that's how he wanted to go out. He bought a Divine Rapier and then completely, you buy Rapier only when you're winning a lot or losing a lot.
Yep.
So it was the right time to buy it. And he got to leave the last tournament with a Rapier in his inventory.
I mean, it's great for him. PPD from Evil Geniuses steps down as
the
coach.
Mind of the operation.
Man, he will. I have no doubt he will go down as one of the greatest coach, drafter, captain to ever have played. He's starting a business position with Evil Genius, which seems to be both those organizations, which were part of Good Game Alliance, broke apart, and now they have business people that were players, which I don't know what that means, but maybe it's because
I can see PPD being a good businessman. I think it takes a lot to be a captain of a world-class Dota team.
Yeah.
So he had to do a lot of communication with, I'm sure he had to, with sponsors and with other people in the industry. So he has those connections, and I'm sure he knows how to work those.
Yep. Alliance also, they came out with their finalized roster, which Loda and EGM are continuing.
Good.
EGM, great player. No, nothing bad to say there. Loda,
fan favorite.
Fan favorite. He tends to play a little bit. He's not a captain. He's a Sumail-ish player. He does his thing and he does it well. I feel like his main heroes this last patch have kind of fallen out of favor.
What do I think?
Sven,
I always think of Lycan. I don't know why I think of Loda Lycan.
He's really into the heavy hitting. He played a lot of Slardar, those type of heroes, which is get into a fight one-on-one and win. Which there was a lot more team fighting. I think there were one-on-one pickoffs. But as the patches developed and it went less from Outworld,
that was Alliance's thing though. They had so many people that were so good at solos, pushing and solo winning fights, that it was just things just happened all over the place, and people just didn't know how to respond to it.
S4 went to OG. Admiral Bulldog, similar to PPD, stepped into some other position. It's still undisclosed what he's doing.
He's been streaming a lot of off-lane, so I don't know if that means anything, but
in their announcement today, it just says he's still with them. He's still part of Alliance. He's just no longer an active member of the team. So maybe he'll be a sub if they need it.
Okay.
I think, honestly, he enjoys streaming. He'll stream day of a tournament because he just has fun. And when you watch him, he seems
his fans are really cool, too, yeah.
So I think that's doing it. Complexity picked up Moo.
Moo, yep.
Your man.
Yeah, and I
think
huge Moo fanboy.
And I think he'll do well there. Swindles the team captain, moved into position 5 support.
Okay. It's just I feel like it's a lot easier to lead from position 5 too.
Oh, without a doubt. What I had put in my
you don't have to worry about winning a fight and then commanding other people what to do. Yeah.
Well, and that's why PPD did such a great job whenever he was. You can stop fighting, and then tell people what to do. Mm-hmm. You don't have to continue like, let me do this. Oh gosh, what am I? Oh, and that's
right. When you have to be mechanically strong at a hero and then also tell people what to do, like, good luck.
And I would see that during fights with Complexity, where they'd be in the middle of a fight and things would start to fall apart. You'd have a character moving off and following someone they shouldn't. Mm-hmm. So
what was it? I don't recall which tournament recently, but Kuroki was playing in it, and he's the team captain. Liquid. I forgot what tournament it was, but he switched from position 5 support, and they won that game, into position 1 Slark in a recent tournament.
Wow.
Just a position 5 to position 1, and the Slark game was a hot mess. Because he was still trying to be a leader and play everyone else was supporting him, and it's really hard. Yeah. It's definitely really hard to
I think Moo will do well. Mm-hmm. Complexity also
Best Timbersaw player NA. I would say that.
I don't doubt it. Complexity also picked up a couple other new players, pub stars. Great for them. I think they're not going to be a top 10 team. Maybe top
Complexity?
10. Yeah. They don't have the, I don't know, there's a word for it. Maybe they'll get there this year.
Right.
But it's not, I see the similar things to, less of Alliance, but that type of Alliance was never, they were number 1, but they got number 1 by, hey, this was just the meta at the time. Complexity, they may find a patch where they fit well,
right?
But it's not like Wings. They're not sitting down and just playing the best games of Dota in the world.
No, I'm sure Wings. Yeah, all the Wings players know memorized information about Dota. If I ask them what if I'm armlet toggling, it's what's Mirana's armor at level 5? One of them will know the answer.
Apparently, Skywrath Mage has 0 armor till level 12 if you don't buy items.
Oh, there you go.
Read that up today. Tons of other movement. Vici Gaming, LGD, across the... I wrote 2,500 words about it today. Every team has
I can't remember all of this. There's so much information.
No, Wings didn't change.
Good. You just won the major tournament.
They could sit on their hands the rest of the year and still probably... not win a game, but be respected.
Knowing the kind of the Asian scenes for a lot of these games, though, watch out. Just because Wings won and they kept their roster the same doesn't mean they're going to be a top dog. Because I can confidently say, I feel like most of the Asian League of Legends teams that do well immediately lose the next tournament, just because that region is so volatile. There's so much good talent in that region, and there's very low and little stigma to gaming, so that everyone is involved in that community. There's going to be a lot of fresh blood, and I can't wait to see new blood in that area just to see what people can do. Yeah. And everyone wants to beat Wings to say they beat Wings. They beat Wings. Yeah.
I am desperate to see these games coming up, because Team Secret picked up their SEA players. Mm-hmm. Team Liquid got some new, across the board. There's so much movement and there's so much going on, and the patches have been so good. It's just you don't have to worry about the game is just really stale meta. It's not like sniper meta, which you skipped over the hee hee hoo ha. Oh. That meta. God, you were not playing at that time, which was for the best because it was absolutely awful. But meta's good. Teams, there's so much movement that I can't wait to watch. Just good.
You can freeze the game like this and everything's going to be good. Yeah. I'm sure you make changes for the good, but right now, it's the best that I've never seen it. No one's not really viable. Maybe Raindrop is a little too strong, but that's about it.
It's not bad, and that is what is so great right now for Dota. like you said, you could keep it the same and people generally be happy.
Yeah, like you just freeze this patch and it's good for a while.
And
new stuff is currently being invented all the time.
Yeah, introduce maybe, new characters, new items, but it's not like it was before where they needed dramatic changes to this or that. So, yeah. Feels good.
Yeah, it feels good. I think that's our weekly recap. Again, this is moremoba.com. We do weekly articles for your favorite MOBAs, certain guides, recap on like roster swaps or tournaments. We stream from time to time at twitch.tv/moremoba. You can find us on YouTube at moremoba, Twitter at moremoba, pretty much moremoba.
If you do it.
Yeah. Let's remember that there are usually 3 lanes in a MOBA, 2 jungles, but 1 website for MOBA news. That is moremoba.com. That's us. See you next week.